I have been a scientist, just like a mad early ice scientist in my garage. Like, yeah, kind of past day or day and a half. I've just been putzing with gear. I feel like that's half the fun, prepping for ice fishing, is just putzing with gear. So this is gonna be a little bit different video. This is gonna be really relaxed. Just kind of a walk around of my battleship, my early ice wagon, that I kind of been tricking out since last season. And I'm not done yet. This is a work in progress. So not only would I like to share the modifications that I've done with this, I would really like a lot of feedback in the comment section. Maybe you guys have different ideas or something's worked well for you, or yeah, any feedback you have or any ideas you have, I read all the comments, so I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll just kind of give you a quick walk around of my early ice chariot here. It is probably a little excessive, but I love it. So right out the gate last year, I started just with a Clam Nordic sled. It's just a basic bare bones sled. This is the medium size. They make a much smaller one and then a much bigger one too. I just felt like this size would kind of fit my needs. And that's where I started. And then I kind of slowly started making modifications and tricking it out. Just little things here or there that would keep me more efficient, or I don't know, just what I wanted to the sled. So last year I added on, I guess, kind of these tiny little screw-ins. I'll kind of bring you back here. I pull this around a lot, and this is just the search and destroy machine. So as I'm pulling this around, I want to be able to punch a hole, throw down the Megalive 2, scan around. If nothing's there, keep moving. This whole thing is kind of about optimizing my space mixed with mobility. So these little garage screws were the first thing I ever added in, and that's really sweet. And especially when you're dealing with a sled, these things are worth their weight in gold. You can buy them at any hardware store. They come in all shapes and sizes, and this plastic is pretty forgiving. So you can kind of screw it into there, manipulate it, twist it. If you don't like where it's at, unscrew it, put it in a different spot, and you can do it on the ice too. So after that, I drilled 3 holes kind of in the back side of the sled, and I just have a carabiner. Especially if buddies are coming with, they always have little mini jet sleds, or if we need to kind of daisy chain a few of them together, this is really nice. Or if somebody has a 4-wheeler, they might pull mine, and then we hook up my buddy's sleds right behind here. Moving kind of forward, last year I installed a few different Clam lock plates on the side here. And the fun thing with this is it's just a toboggan, it's just a sled. So you can cut into it, you can drill into it. If it doesn't work out the first time, doesn't matter. It doesn't need to look pretty. You can see I was considering taking off the side wall, but then I was like, oh, I'll just put this in here, and yeah, I can put gear bags there or anything like that, but it's really nice to have a rod holder here. So that way we don't have to bring myself or my buddy's big rod locker. You know what I mean? We can just pick 1 or 2 rods that we're going to go out chase panfish with or walleyes with, and then in and out really quick. And then after that, I put in an extremely long rope. This is a hack. If you have just a little jet sled or a sled you like to use, get an upgraded rope and make it really long. Makes pulling it much easier. So this is something I really love. So here's those Clam lock base plates. And this year I bought like 4 of them, and I've only used 1 so far. I'm still thinking in my head kind of where I want to trick out different stuff, but they're so universal because you can mount them to so many different things, not just the sled. So you can see right here on the inside of my toboggan, this is my ice shuttle, Megalive 2, and I rigged up a Clam base plate on the side of it. And then you can kind of see right in here, this is where I have the other side of the base plate. And what this is like a perfect distance where it can lock in, and it kind of rests on top of my bucket. And the whole deal for that is my buddies and I were always grabbing the sled and whipping it and pulling it, and that way this thing will never fall out, and then, you know, an expensive screen doesn't land on the ice. So it's kind of stationary here, but really quick, you can grab it if you need to go mobile just on your feet. And from there, that was all I did last year. And then I fished really hard with this. And then there's some modifications this year I've made that I'm pretty pumped about. So this year right away, I was like, my sled needs some sort of lights. I definitely forget a headlamp like every other time I go out, and I like to fish a lot into the evening. And I was like, I just want a couple lights that I can see on the ice, because obviously if you're in a spot, maybe I'm fishing walleyes, and all your gear gets tangled around. So it's like you're running over, you're grabbing jigs, you're changing rods, you're changing baits. The ice that's like right around your sled, this is kind of always a home base, especially if you're planted down an area. There's just stuff you have, you know, the opportunity to forget. So I was like, I need lights. So yesterday I installed these little Clam sled lights, and it comes in a pack of 3, and I was not sure exactly where I wanted to put them. I don't know if I should have put them on the edge. I put them back here just because I'm always fiddling back here. And then also, as you're dragging a sled out, if you guys have ever fished into the evening and you're dragging your sled back in, it's nice to have some light shining back there so you can turn around and see if anything fell out. So how these work is they're all 3 rigged to each other right here. I wanted one on the inside of the toboggan too, just so I could kind of see my gear in there. But yeah, then I rigged it up on the little Clam DC plug. And since I always have a power box here or my ice shuttle, it's got a little port, I plug it in, boom. I got it pretty illuminated in here so they don't look that bright, but these are gonna be nice and bright on the ice. I got 2 shining back here and then 1 inside the bucket to make sure everything's good. So I like that. That's a pretty cool addition, I thought. That way I'm never without light. And I'm pretty proud of how I wired it in. It's decently clean. And besides that, something that I always forget is a bump board. And it's always rolling around in the bottom of the toboggan. It's either left on the ice or you're shoving it in different spots so it doesn't fall over. And this year I ordered a nice long bump board. You can see right here, it just goes right in the side. Probably did a bad job at showing that, but I got a 32-inch board just in case, you know, I didn't want a short one. Like, what if we get a big walleye, or I don't know. But it's got a nice little mount bracket. Slide that right in there, and I'm never without it. All right, next addition I made, and I'm like maybe the most excited about this one, is kind of an auger rack, auger holder. It seemed like we used either the side of the toboggan, or it would just shuffle around down in here and take up a lot of space, because obviously this gets filled up, especially if you got buddy's gear or I bring camera gear. I needed a place where my auger went and was kind of out of the way, but not locked in anywhere. And right away, I had these older Copeland mounts that would go on a 4-wheeler. And these are decent, but I didn't really want it to lock in, because I want to be able to like just pull it 20 feet, grab the auger, throw it back on. Pull it 20 feet, grab the auger, throw it back on. I didn't want like a legit locking auger rack. So the handy dandy garage racks again. Boom. I just bought some oversized big ones, and you can flip around and turn them, especially if I'm putting it in the truck and the tonneau cover kind of rides close. I can put them out, and then as you're going on the ice, you just boom, chuck your auger down and it stays there. Especially if you're pulling it forward, it always kind of wants to go back, and then because of the flighting, it never really lets it fly out the front half. So it's like, I don't know. I just put them in. I'll let you know if I like them or like the placement, but so far I like it. Just grab and go. It's gonna be slick. Cool. That's about where I'm at on the outside of it. I'll show you kind of my organization on the inside of it here. This is how it normally looks. But yeah, we've got an oversized bucket, which is nice because you harvest some fish, you have room to throw your fish down there, some ice, and then your Vexlar still fits in that bucket. And then it makes a nice seat too, if you do really get tired. I have it in a crate so I can shove a lot of stuff in here, like bungee cords and stuff, because I do like to, we pack so much stuff, and I'll bungee cord it up, especially if we're getting a ride in on a 4-wheeler or we're just trudging it through there pretty hot. Minnow bucket right here, the oversized crate. That's where I have a battery bag, which is really slick. Just keeps your batteries clean out of the slush and snow and keeps them just a little bit warmer. On super cold days, I can throw hand warmers in here too, so your batteries are always kind of fresh. And then yeah, at the bottom of the crate, just a bunch of bungee cords. You never go wrong with a bunch of bungee cords. A little ice scoop. And then yeah, come get a little closer here. I don't know. Oh, little tip up. You got to bring a tip up. Even if you're just pan fishing, you never know. And obviously walleye fishing. I don't think they make this bucket anymore, but this is one of my favorite pails ever. I think just because it has a flat surface. This is an old school Vexilar bucket. And inside here, this is basically where I keep all my tackle. This is a bunch of walleye spoons. This is kind of terminal tackle. These are just treble hooks and yeah, small little weights and everything for setting iFish Pros or set lines or tip ups. And then in this little binder, it's kind of an old school binder, but this is where I keep kind of the bread and butter of my pan fishing. Off here to the left, I've got small jigs, pin heads, Tikka flashes, and I like these little flat boxes just because they, you know, fit so flat in here, and I kind of have them segmented out. And then I like these small ones too because I can just throw it in a bib pocket. And then over here, these are all my panfish plastics, or just an assortment of them. So this fits in that square bucket really nice. Like I said before, I don't think they make them anymore. Besides that, bunch of just ice picks down in here, weird little mounts, little screw-ins, extra ones of these if I bring a hub house with, or if you're trying to chip off the bottom of your auger or your cleats. Ice fishing's all about bringing probably way too much gear than you need, but when you have it with you and it's not just a whole cluster, it's pretty nice. It's really nice to have it. Slide that back on there. And we're golden. So here's where I feel like I need some feedback. What am I missing? What did I not think of? What do you think would be better? Obviously, I think it would be cool to potentially one day rig this up on maybe 2 skis. That way, if we get a ton of snow, we pull our sleds a lot. We do a lot of walking. And if we do get a lot of snow, obviously, pulling a sled, it just creates more friction. So it would be cool to maybe make it a Smitty sled, put it on skis. But for right now, I like where it's at. And besides that, I ordered a Clam lock phone holder. This is nice. I get a lot of secondary shots off a cell phone. So I might potentially mount this over here with a base plate. I'm not sure yet. And then this is kind of slick too. There's just a whole bunch of these online. All these different Clam lock systems. If you have a base plate or a bunch of base plates, you can just swap them in and out. So another tackle storage bag right here, or right by the Mega Live 2 would be sweet. But yeah, I think that's basically everything. Yeah, kind of my early ice battle wagon modded out jet sled chariot. It's a work in progress. If you have any comments or ideas or things that have worked for you or things that you think I'm missing, like, please let me know. I love it. And I'm just excited to kind of keep tinkering with it. That's maybe potentially one of the funnest things about getting ready for ice fishing, is just tinkering with your gear and making it your own. Customize everything. So thank you so much for watching. Good luck during this early ice season. Hope everybody had a phenomenal Thanksgiving. And I guess there's nothing left to be said, and stay tuned. And as always, the adventure begins. See you.
Move ahead, oh my pretty babe. Something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead. Oh my pretty babe.